Welcome to the Circle Star Firearms and Outdoors podcast, your home for the latest products and news in the shooting sports, hunting, and the great outdoors. And now, here are your hosts, Jake Coffin and Jason Westmoreland.
Hey everybody, it is Jake and Jason and Frank Baird here from Circle Star Firearms and Outdoors.
Starting to be a regular.
Yeah, so people have been reaching out and apparently...
Only Frank answers the phone.
Y'all like listen.
I have nothing better to do, I guess.
Everybody thinks Frank's entertaining, and we wouldn't disagree with that. So we are happy to have him on again. If you haven't listened to a previous podcast or heard one with him, he is Frank Jr. from B&B Taxidermy, one of the premier taxidermy studios in the world.
Are you the first B or the second B?
I'm the second one, sadly. The littler of the two.
You're the lowercase B?
Yeah, lowercase. It's written in crayon, too.
Which is funny because you're bigger than your dad.
Yeah. Well, why? Every time you have to make some kind of joke about me.
What? I didn't make
we
a joke.
just started.
That was a legitimate question. Could be Frank Baird Jr. and Mike Baird, or Mike Baird and Frank Baird Jr.
Nope, I'm a junior.
Could be Baird and Sons.
You know what I never thought about doing? Calling Kristen Mrs. Baird.
I have a feeling you're about to start.
I'm going to start.
See, I won't forgive them. I'm mad at them. I haven't bought Miss Baird product in a long
How
time.
could you be mad at a bread
How could
company?
you be mad at Baird's?
Because they got rid of the absolute best hunting snack and breakfast all time. The cinnamon rolls that used to come in like the little cardboard square.
Yeah.
That had the ice and everything. Oh, they were the best. They don't make them anymore.
I thought the
Really?
honey bun was like the unofficial hunting.
No. I mean, maybe around the world.
Have you ever drove past like their manufacturing, the bakery?
Fourth.
Yeah, the smell. Oh my God. Yeah, it's good stuff.
And see, I don't know why Waco had it, but growing up, Waco had a not a retail. It's like a secondary, like all their mistakes, like if the bread came a little squished or like wasn't
You
ice
get those
enough.
at the day old bread place.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have the rejects. Taste the same. Yeah.
He's saying. I mean, I don't know the difference.
Well, guys, if you are listening to this nonsense,
Welcome.
You're already on a good start.
Yeah, we appreciate you. If you could hit the like and share button, tell your mama and them about us. We appreciate it. That's the only way people find out.
And give old B&B a like too.
Yeah, if
it.
you have not checked out their social media, it is next level. Their Facebook is, they do some stuff. So you do yourself a favor and go over there and check it out. And the topic today is rambling.
Yes.
So we all wanted to do something a little different, talk about different stuff. It kind of got chingalayed and pushed sideways because these two sneaky bastards have a axis hunt planned without me this afternoon.
Yeah, and speaking of that, if you
Here we
ever are trying to sneak a hunt from underneath your buddy, don't tell Frank.
Oh, no.
Oh,
No. This was all my
I
idea.
am not getting blamed for
I
this.
figured that out.
Absolutely.
You got so quiet
Yeah, he-
about the George Strait tickets.
Yeah.
And then I had been talking to Frank on a regular basis about an archery hunt for an axis, and I was like, I approached him and I was like, hey, dude.
Yeah, but see, I figure Frank had that same smile he's got right now when you ask him about it. He's like, hey, Jake talking about a hunt. He's like,
It was over a phone. He couldn't see my face.
It was over the
he
phone.
couldn't see
But
my
the more,
face.
The more I probed him about it, like he wouldn't lie. He wouldn't lie for you. He didn't go there, and he was
well, at
like,
least he's got his morals.
and I was so proud of myself for digging that out.
I give you credit.
I didn't know whether to confront you about it or wait till you killed something and try to kill something bigger. But I was so proud of myself, I had to go in and I was like, I figured you out.
And so now the plan. So Frank and I we made a little transaction, a little quid for pro quo, and I traded him some tickets to a George Strait concert. We're gonna go kill some axis out of his place. But the goal is, because Jason, and we talked about this last episode, he's always wanted to kill a monster axis. I want to kill one that is so untouchable for the rest of his life. For the next 36 months, he'll live more than likely. He's going to have to stew about this.
Yeah, no pressure on me whatsoever.
Yeah.
Because it's weird. Jason said the exact same thing about the deer that he wants to shoot.
This goes back further than like this isn't a new thing.
This is deep-seated hate, sir.
So he did it with the. I found
y'all
out,
understand these are wild animals, right? Like I do not have these damn things on a leash.
I don't care if this is the goat from Jurassic Park. Tie that sucker to a stake.
So I did my homework and I found out, same type of scenario, that he had booked a red stag hunt and he wasn't telling me about it.
Yeah, no, it was not.
But I found out about it. So, and I also found out he was gonna
We need to start changing passwords around here.
He was gonna
something.
wait till we were in a Facebook Live video, and then like in the middle of it, pull out the mount of the red
my
stag and be
God.
like, "Gotcha." So while we're doing the Facebook Live,
I have a question about this axis deer. So let's say both of y'all get a deer. Hopefully that happens. Are y'all just not going to share pictures with each other until I bring the mount up here? Like, what is the deal on that?
Oh.
Mm.
Good
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
I hadn't pondered it that much.
yeah.
There's extra money in it if you break or lose his antlers.
My God.
See, he just has to kill one with a rifle. So if
Yeah.
I kill one with a pistol or a bow, I've done better than you.
Sir, it's
No matter
it's this
how
right
you
here.
do
I got a pocket knife.
He's got a pocket knife.
I will bow down if you do it with a spear or pocket knife. You win.
There was a guy I remember a long time ago. I was a kid, and the guy had been drinking, sitting around the bonfire there at a deer camp. My granddad took us to, I guess, my uncle's camp up in Arkansas. And the guy's sitting there, and I already, I was probably Travis's age at this point. I was 12-ish, 13 years old, and you can already tell like the guy that's like already just a little off. But he's sitting there and he's staring into the fire, and you have that stare where you're looking through the fire into the ether.
The
He's like,
1,000-yard stare.
Yeah, he's like, ever tell you my idea of an idea or hunt? I was like, no, sir. He's like, I'm going to bury myself in a game trail and all my face showing. And that deer walks up, I'm going to hop out and stab him in the heart. And I was like, oh, I'm not going to sit next to you anymore. And I have never forgot that.
See, and I'm an instigator. I'd be just the opposite. I was like, do it.
Do
Yeah.
it.
Do it. Go bury yourself with a knife. Let's
I'll
see
get
what
a
happens.
shovel.
But how cool would he have been if he did?
Yeah, but I think he's one of those guys who just never left South Vietnam. He just like,
Yeah.
just seen some things.
Yeah. So that being said, we talked about the shenanigans we got coming up. I wish you the very best on your hunt.
Me too.
I'm glad you're still alive after yesterday because you had a little hiccup while you were working on the yard.
It was a good day. It was still a great day because I got so much crap thrown away. Just kind of that
Knocking the honeydews out, cleaning up.
If it does not bring you joy, throw it away, right? So I just purging all the extra crap that's stuck in all my sheds. And my kids, being my kids, they decided they weren't going to throw away the trash from putting, feed and new shavings and stuff out for the chicken coop. And so I'm walking by and just bebopping along, not thinking about it.
I like how he blames this on his kids.
I did too.
Yeah.
Well, it's 100% true.
Your kids definitely put them there. Yeah.
So, but I come walking out, and the eaves of my chicken coop are like 6 foot off the ground, and they're just giant hornet's nests. And I walked through, and I guess I probably, irritated them. Well, now I have feed sacks and this, all this. I'm crumpling up and trying to stick them into each other. And I guess I passed at head level because as soon as I passed by, it was. I've counted like 9 strikes. I got 2 to the ear, 1 on the top of the head, neck, couple on the back, couple on my arm, and just. And then after that, Benadryl and I had a good evening.
Yeah, I called to check on you because I've seen you have a little reaction before.
Yeah.
And I was worried about your throat closing up, and I was calling your wife, and she's like, "I tried. He's being stubborn, so if he dies, he dies." I'm like, "Oh, all right." She's like, "I gave him enough Benadryl. He's nappy time for a long time." Like, all right, well, just check. I was like, "Get a pin and make some marks to where you could measure swelling and everything." And I hear Jake in the back go, "How I go measure my ear?" I don't know, buddy. You're all right. He reminded me of that scene from Ted. He's like, you fucked up.
I fought the Benadryl so hard because I was like, I got stuff to do on my day off. And
Well, we were supposed to hunt yesterday,
Uh-huh.
so it must have been pretty bad.
Yeah, I was.
And then the competitive person in me, I'll be honest, I did call him and tell him you got stung, and I was like, "Hey, let's go do this today,"
Nice.
It'd
and
be
really
hilarious.
piss him off.
It would. Oh man.
Well, no, I probably could have gone, but I wanted to be.
See, that would have
Not Benadryl
that would
high?
have sucked for me because when I killed one, even if it was with a bow, you'd be like, yeah. Were you like spaced out on Benadryl?
Yeah, we all bombed out on Benadryl. No,
No.
I wanted it to be. I wanted to be. I can't think of the right word. I want to say enjoyable, but that's not it.
Man, you're making those Dos Equis look too good. Let me get one of those from you. I have not had the lime and salt. I'm poor. Frank brought these beers, so I have to put my lime and salt on manually. But once you hit a certain level, apparently you can buy it with the stuff already added to it.
Yeah. Well, if y'all would start selling, like double rifle elephant guns or something, you could get you a case of these.
Yeah, they're I mean,
hey, you bring the buyers. I'll stock the rifle.
Our clientele's like shooting pigs with big guns, but price of double guns is a little
no
higher.
416 Rigby's.
4570.
Yeah. No H and H's.
Well, talking about calibers, hell, that's the perfect segue.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, actually, what caliber are you bringing?
6.5.
You're that guy?
I am that guy.
PRC or Creedmoor?
Creedmoor. I've killed all sorts of stuff with that thing. I love it.
Dude, it gets so much hate. The 6.5 need more. The 6.5 bleed more.
The Creedmoor does get a lot of hate.
It
I'll
does.
be honest, I'm not a...
I mean, I've got my PRC downstairs. I'll go verify 0 real fast, but I mean, last I looked, it was like right about there.
Which gun are you
the
more
excuses
comfortable
are
with?
already coming through.
I know, right?
Yep.
Which gun are you more comfortable with?
No, that Creedmoor.
Then that's the one you need to take.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I will say this about the Creedmoor though, and I won't. You bring it. I want you to bring it. But when that thing first came out, I think people just didn't understand what it was.
It's still the problem with it. It's the problem with the Creedmoor. It's the problem with the
bullet
Blackout.
is so important on those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is where more, and I fight more misinformation when it comes to, and it's not just these two calibers. It's all over the board.
Yeah.
But the reason why there's 90 different bullets, you could be in 308 or 6.5 or whatever cartridge. The reason why there's all these different bullets is that they perform differently.
Sure.
And there's subtle differences, but they do separate things. And several years ago, I killed an elk with a 6.5 Creedmoor at 237 yards.
Yeah.
But prior to that,
I saw a 12-year-old girl kill an elk with a 243. So
yeah, it happens, right?
yeah.
But what I did is I went
Probably
out.
bigger than his elk too.
Probably.
Oh, that didn't take much. Yeah, there's a lot to that story, but yeah, not by much.
Just quick question. I don't want to interrupt yours. How far is your house from where he's hunting at?
What do you mean, my house?
Like where you live?
The other side.
Oh,
of town.
okay. I got you. Like my house from our ranch is like 25 minutes.
Oh, I'm just wondering how long it's going to take you to go get the blue laces to track this.
I'm going to stop on the way and pick them up. That was good. That was good.
I gotta hate on him because he's gonna rub this thing in my face.
no, it's
so
fair. It's fair.
Bad.
God, you better pray to Jesus that you hit it right.
Oh, I
That
know.
bow, dude.
Oh, yeah. Both of us. If you don't, yeah.
That karma is going to get you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, be on day 4 out here with these damn dogs.
But
Sorry.
But you're talking about the bullet, right? And preparing for that elk trip, I shot everything I could get my hands on, trying to figure out what penetrates the best, what opens the fastest, and I was shooting it into this big long story, but I was shooting into this little contraption I had built, and I was measuring that out, and so, when I shoot this elk, and me and my buddy that were hunting together, we were standing next to each other against the same tree in this little bachelor group of these raghorns, and it was already a 1, 2, 3. Like you shoot the right, I shoot the left.
Yeah.
And I shoot mine, and the bullet passes all the way through the chest cavity, and when it spins, you can just see the blood pouring out of it. He's shooting a 300 PRC, the exact same distance at the exact same animal, basically, right? Another elk. I'm pretty sure, I didn't never look, but I'm pretty sure I slipped mine between 2 ribs, but he hit a rib and never exited. And so there was no blood trail in his, and mine looked like you just cut an artery. And so
There's so many schools of thought on that, though. Like, I mean, I always think, like, I understand what you're saying 100%. I mean, everybody always thinks, oh, yeah, I need to pass through. I need that bullet to blow through. because it's carrying that energy, that kinetic energy the whole way through the cavity. But then, I mean, couldn't you argue that if the bullet, let's say, goes through the shoulder blade and into the lungs and the heart and just releases and drops all that energy, wouldn't that be more devastating to the animal, theoretically?
In theory, it could be.
I'm just asking. I'm asking questions.
That's tough.
I'm asking questions.
If you look at like videos of impacts with ballistic gel, you could see that, what's it called, the shock wave that goes through.
Oh yeah, that.
Even though the bullet passes through, the amount
hydrostatic
of
shock.
hydrostatic shock. There you go. The amount of damage it did is just, and then you can see a video where a bullet just opens up inside the animal. So yeah, that's kind of
so for
go ahead.
Everyone's going to have their own school of thought on this one.
Sure.
Mine is, I want it to kind of where you have that has that I want mass retention. I want that bullet carrying as much weight all the way through the cavity as possible. But, and I have, especially when I was doing this professionally, trying to track, road shot deer and stuff like that. Personally, I'm going to want something that's going to carry the mass through, even though it's expelling all its energy. I don't need it to continue past, but I want it to poke through, because by the time, let's say your bullet goes in at, 0.243 inches or, 264, 284, whatever the base diameter of the round is, by the time it goes through, roughly, all are slightly different, but let's say it is twice the size on the way through. Well, now I have either a downward facing angle or at least parallel to where as that body starts building up with blood, I'm releasing it on both sides that I can actually track it. I have tried, this is really before tracking dogs got to be a thing, helping kids and, tracking animals that are taken illegally and never even found them, just because, and you've been there, blood just stops, right? Or you have one or two right where the bullet happened, and then, maybe you're lucky and it runs 300-400 yards and you're like, it's probably going this way, and you just stumble upon it, and you may have a chest cavity that's just absolutely flooded, but that skin seals back or that hide seals back, and it's just, there's nothing there. So it's kind of depends. So like for me, a lot of times when I take a kid hunting or an inexperienced person hunting, I say shoot the shoulder, because I'm trying to break that bone. I'm trying to immobilize the animal. Whereas for me, and this is probably going to bite me in the ass this afternoon.
Probably.
That
I already know exactly what you're going to say.
But I want to put it where, I'm going to take out what's important. I'm going to stop the heart. I'm going to hit it through a double lung shot. And that way, and especially if I can, I try to put a downward angle of shot, because I want to just follow, but it looks like somebody's spilling paint down a
Helen
trail.
Keller could follow it.
Exactly.
Yeah. The only thing I would say, and this is getting a little specific, but for whatever reason, and I've seen axis deer be shot with 300 Win Mags, 30-06s, 270s, 308s, 375s, 6.5 Creedmoors, 6.5 PRCs. I mean, the list goes on and on, right? I'm not. They don't bleed.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if it's just a body thing, just because they're so much more dense than a whitetail, and they're just real broad. But man, they just don't bleed.
Trey Wrigley, the Axis addict, that's what he just literally said the same thing. Yeah. He said the same thing about totally different than white. That's what his hypothesis, I think, was that the skin's a little more elastic.
Probably.
But yeah, he said that it is very hard to get them to give you that solid blood trail.
I have yet to shoot anything with that PRC yet. It's ready to go.
But you're comfortable, and you kill so much stuff.
I'm not trying to disprove.
I'm trying to get in your head,
sir. Sir, you ain't going to.
Yeah. You got a 22 mag downstairs.
I'm a stone cold killer.
It's a little bit of a parable, but I think kind of the same way with archery. Because, you can crank it up to 70 pounds, it's going to shoot a little flatter, and it's going to pass right through. And if you do hit the shoulder blade, you get a penetration through there. But I'm in the school of thought, I'll pull it down to like 52 pounds, and I hope to get it at that quarter inch waist shot to where it's going to go in there, and it's not going to penetrate all the way through. And when it starts running, that broadhead's in there just doing the Lord's work, and they'll drop 5 yards away. So,
I'm going to disagree with you.
Are you?
Yeah. I really am.
You like higher poundage?
Yeah, and the reason being is I feel like archery, because you don't have, the kinetic energy, or it's hard to compare it to a bullet, right? Because you want it to cut a hole all the way through, is my thought.
Right.
I mean, I'm just playing devil's advocate.
My thing is,
I could understand what you're saying.
If I've got a 100 or 125 game broadhead that's next to its vitals and it starts running and it's the animal's own muscles are working against it and that broadhead's just in there shredding everything, I feel like that has in my experience, it seems to drop them a little quicker than if I get a clean pass through. Because even, you do that perfect heart chop. I've only had one deer ever, and I haven't killed a million, probably out of 30 archery kills, I've only had one ever just tumped, and I took the only shot I had on her, and it was in her, a facing away in her back hip. Because you got a lot of veins and arteries and stuff going on back there. And for whatever reason, she just dropped. Done. But those clean pass-throughs at, 65, highest I've ever gone, I think 65, but at 70 when they just zip right through it, I always, just my experience, it seems like I have to track them just a little bit longer. So, but you also gain a lot of yardage too. That's another thing. I mean, in Montana and stuff, we figured out real quick, you got to be ready to make it an 80-yard shot. And if your bow's down at 45 pounds.
So what are you shooting? How many pounds?
So it depends where we're hunting.
37.
Right.
Well, I mean, think about
little
it.
recurve.
A man of his age doesn't have the muscle mass.
That osteo's kicking in between that and the arthritis. I'm about ready for a crossbow.
Did you take the Mickey Mouse sticker off of the bow? Or?
Yeah.
We're afraid he's going to break something just drawing back.
Little tykes.
My bow right now is set at 58 pounds.
Okay.
So I feel like that's a good kind of in-between shot.
Okay.
Where I got on this school of thought was, as I was supposed to, and it got canceled, go on a bison hunt for a big bull bison a couple years ago, and they said, hey, dial back to 45 pounds. And I was like, really? And they explained that thought process to me. And they might not have known what they were talking about, but it is a huge bison ranch, and a lot of people take them with archery. And they said, in the scenario you're going to be in, you want that arrow in there just grinding them up. And kind of made sense.
Here's the one, I'm going to throw one more devil's advocate at you. Okay, a bison makes sense because his lung cavity is freaking,
huge.
2 foot, whatever.
Yeah.
It's massive. So, if you have a broadhead sitting in there just grinding away at that, I mean, versus a deer, I mean, yes, the lungs are still quite large,
right?
But it's expanding, contracting as that animal's breathing. I don't know. I would rather have the blood trail.
I've pondered this many nights. Yeah.
I don't think there's a right answer.
I don't know if there is either.
And a lot of it goes into, I think,
I'm hoping it works out.
Especially with archery, is kind of like
placement.
when we sell. Well, it's always shot placement, but like when we sell pistols and everything, if I think somebody comes in and they tell me, this is the gun I want, this is what it's for, and I think something's better for them, and I start kind of, weighing the pros and cons of it. But if they stay confident and like, this is what I want, if they're building that structure, that foundation with that confidence to go with, they're going to be more effective with it in the long run. So maybe that keeps me a little bit from having as much of the buck fever or staying a little calmer. And maybe that has to do, follows through into shot placement and stuff. It's just my train of thought, but it seemed to work out so far.
I think there's logic there. It's not anything I've ever experienced.
Yeah.
I mean, I've went to Africa twice with my bow and New Zealand once, and I've hunted all over America here with my bow. And Dad's thing was always, oh, you got to get up to 70 pounds. But I mean, you're not shooting a mechanical, I would assume.
No.
Yeah, you're shooting a fixed blade.
Shoot a fixed blade. I shoot 100 grains, and I shoot a monocore. I'm not going to throw any names out there until I get a sponsorship.
Gotcha.
So never.
Yeah.
But
I mean, there's logic there. I'll be curious.
Yeah.
I will be very curious to see how it works.
Yeah.
Now I do know. I had a lady hunter come, and she harvested a deer with a bow last spring, and she was only shooting about 50 pounds. And she put a good shot on it. I mean, it worked, but...
Frank's so nice. That's the nicest way anybody's called me a lady.
Right.
Well, I appreciate that. Thanks.
That's what I appreciate.
That's what I appreciate about you.
And see, if my bow will do 70, I want to do 71, right? I'm going to crank them limbs all the way down.
Gotcha.
I want as fast as the arrow. I shoot the lightest weight, the fastest. I mean, because I'm not a great archer, but if I'm trying to hit an elk
Are you
at
okay?
75 yards, I'm fair.
No, I mean, to admit that. You all right?
No.
I was about to say that's the most anti-Jake thing I've ever heard.
But I'm not. I'm more of a gun guy, right? And I just know what I'm into. And
Brought to you by
Well, the Indians lost for a reason.
exactly.
Go ahead, sorry.
Crack it and beer.
Beer. But I have started considering it. 2 years ago, we were up there in Montana hunting, and I've started doing this at the house. Trying to sit like Indian style or on my knees or different positional. And
I don't think we could say that anymore.
I specifically said it on purpose. I don't know who said crisscross applesauce was the right thing. That's wrong.
You know what? I'm about to say it, and I'm going to safely say that the chances of an Indian listening to this,
They're probably small.
slim to none.
Yeah.
Let's just
Really, that goes,
I mean, maybe with a dot, but
that's-
not with a feather.
Yeah, but that's really anybody though.
Last show right here.
Last show, when we find a Native American arrow sticking out of his ass, we're gonna know. Y'all are wrong. Yep.
It'll make my day if I drive over like a Paleolithic arrowhead and epox my tire this afternoon.
Absolutely. Either that or you're going to come home from work and John Redcorn's going to be walking out of your house. Like, got you, bitch.
Got you. But you're going back to what you're talking about. Very few times are you getting to stand there and do the whole you're practicing in your backyard. It's easy, right? But weird, awkward positions and have them sit there and draw back.
Absolutely right.
Yeah.
I get it, especially with the newer sites. Like I'm running that Spot Hog that you got to throw lever as far as it needs to go. What's a little more arc? No, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, all we can do is find out. Keep. Yeah. So I'm excited because we're going to put it to the test because in about a month we have I say we're going to put it to the test. It'll be year number 4 where we haven't put it to the test, but we got an archery hunt in Colorado again, chasing elks through the mountains.
And the good news is a week and a half ago I completely reconfigured my entire bow.
Yeah, that's the time to do it.
So I'm starting over at
Exactly
square
when
one.
you should do it.
Yeah. Or wait till the night before.
Went to new
So you're-
arrowheads, new vanes, new peep. I got to re-zero everything out.
I did figure out with I got a new Matthews, and I have figured out I got it 2 years ago, that 58 pounds does not give me enough FPS to hit a prairie dog or a ground squirrel, because they can make it in their burrow when they poke that head out. From the time I fling to the time that arrow gets to them,
They can hear it.
It's like magic. They're just they're gone every freaking time. That wouldn't happen with a 6.5 Creedmoor.
No.
Nope.
And it might kill it when it got there.
Damn.
Wow. All right. I'm done.
That's fine. I like my Creedmoor.
That's fine.
Yeah. No recoil, great terminal performance.
I dig it.
like
I've
it.
seen what they've done. I dig it. I think it's a great round.
I just got a bad taste of them early. I really did. And
Well,
it
that's
was,
the
and it was,
problem.
and
You're
it
not
all
supposed to be
goes back
tasting
to right. Yeah, and
It's
a lot of hobbies taste.
so it's a lot to do. So that's what I mean. And it's still a problem today with the 300 blackout. There's so much bad information
Yeah.
out there. When it first came out,
And see, I love a 300 blackout. I've
Yeah.
had great success with it,
Uh-huh.
but I knew what bullet to use.
there you go. Because originally on most people are like, oh, you don't get any terminal performance out of 300 blackout. Well, you're shooting a Sierra Match King bullet, which is a match, not designed to open up at slow speed, slower than the speed of sound. Of course, it's super quiet, but it's a really expensive full metal jacket at that point. You're not going to get it. You have to marry the right bullet to the right task at hand.
Yeah, and I think that falls a lot into the category and I get it. I've walked into and that's why we run our business the way we do. I walked into a ton of gun stores where they were so either indifferent or condescending that I wasn't willing to ask questions. But we have guys come in and they're complaining about the 300 blackout, shooting a 16-inch barrel unsuppressed with subsonic rounds.
Yeah, why doesn't cycle?
And it's not cycling, or I can't hardly at 200 yards my scope's maxing out. You
Well,
shoot
yeah.
a 210 grain bullet, and it's why are you shooting subsonic? Well, I thought that's what 300 blackouts were made for. And then once you can break it down and kind of but it comes back to it's all about the right bullet. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
Speaking of that, though, I might have found I think I found my new one, my next one.
You just built a 7PRC.
Yeah, and see, I didn't think about this. And so a couple days ago,
Good God.
customer came in. He bought a Henry. What are they? The Darks, right?
Yeah.
They're tactical-ish
Yeah.
looking ones, but in 45 Colt. I was like, all right, cool, whatever. He's a big hog dog guy. He goes, I wanted something that was kind of quiet, but good up close. Because around my dogs, I don't want to spook my dogs or nothing. Okay, so we bought a suppressor with it, and then he came in. He goes, hey, does this gun have rifling in it? I was like, I don't really know what you're talking about. He's like, yeah. He's like, do they rifle these from the factory? Like and he called it the grooves. Does it have the grooves in it? I was like, yeah. I was like, they should. I'm not saying maybe they didn't screw up.
It shouldn't be a smoothbore.
Wow.
Yeah. I was like, well, bring the gun in and let me check it out. And I,
Did you
crack
sell
it
him a
open,
410
look, and it's
instead?
all that. And but he was picking up his suppressor, just got approved. And I was like, hey, I'm gonna go outside and shoot it real fast just to verify. Can you have that little steel target?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Back to lever action is the greatest thing to ever go suppress hunting.
Yeah.
I don't. If it was any quieter, it's sucking sound from the universe into it. It is negative noise. Because
How quiet is it? It's so quiet. It's like my wife's response to if I ask her if you want to go to the bedroom. It's just like negative crickets.
it is. You're right. That's how I meet her. Negative
There's
crickets.
another cricket telling a cricket, be quiet.
Yeah.
So we had that integrally suppressed 45 long Colt.
The 44 mag.
What, is it a 44 mag?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But I was shooting cowboy loads. They're heavy, all lead. They're doing 710 feet per second.
Oh, my God.
They ain't getting there quick.
So what do you have, like a 75-yard gun?
Yeah, like 150. Easy.
Deadly
Oh,
at
yeah.
150?
It's a solid chunk of lead. What else
No,
are
I
they gonna do?
get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
It's
All right, I got to know.
It's the easier way to get to. But shoot that steel target back there. There's no at the gun. There was nothing. No wind noise. No puff.
You said 710 feet per second. Mm-hmm. What is the FPS on a slingshot? No bullshit. Like
Same as your bow.
Yeah. Ouch. Yeah, 300, probably 250, 300 feet per second.
I bet it's faster than that.
No.
Don't think so?
Nah.
No way.
Yeah, we're going to do the Google real quick. Because if it's 600 feet per 700 feet per second, I might as well just go the slingshot.
I mean, what is a blowgun?
I mean,
150 to 200.
that's it?
Yep.
Oh, wow. A blowgun is a long metal tube that you can put darts in the end of it.
No, I
and you,
know. I know what it is.
Dad,
That's a trip to do.
I guess it depends on the person
Lung
and how
pound.
much they blow.
Yeah. But see, the blowgun trips to
Jake would be really good at it.
no, it's I don't, more of a suction thing. But where they're shooting the iguanas in Florida off the canals with them. That just
Oh, my
looks
God.
like
I've seen
fun.
that, dude.
Yeah.
That does look like a lot of
When I
fun.
was a kid, and I'm sure they still, that's what they use now and everything. I haven't played with a blowgun in a long time, but they were awesome. But I don't know how I didn't kill myself with one. But they had broadheads, like actual broadheads you put on the end of the dart.
I
Yeah.
kill squirrels with it and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, they're super.
That was a gun show special. That's what made the gun show great. When you go buy that stuff,
It wasn't
You
just
You
Get
could
your
get a
blowgun?
slingshot, a blowgun,
The,
and
the-
firecrackers.
the crossbow
Same
pistols.
Yes, I had one of those
Mine,
too.
yeah, I did too. Mine wasn't just the blowgun. Mine was the blowgun with the revolver cylinder.
Oh,
So I could shoot,
you had a bougie blowgun.
turn it. Yeah, for like $14.99, and it killed so much.
I bet. God, it wasn't a pigeon
And,
safe.
and I've never seen it since then. Oh, pigeons! Yeah, I got. I'm scared of pigeons. Me and my cousin Steven, and he listens to this. We young, dumb, probably 14 years old. He's ranch hand, works. Runs a. Now he runs a big cotton plantation. But back then we were just hands, and we decided to go to the gin with 12 gauge with like number 6 shot because it was full of pigeons on the inside, and we went inside and just annihilated them, not thinking about the repercussions of number 6 shot in 10, and we got our ass beat so bad we just blew the entire roof of the cotton gin off basically. So
I bet it was fun while it was happening.
Oh yeah, it was a blast until the realization hit when we saw all the little white dots coming through from the sun. Like, oh, this is bad. Yeah, that's a total squirrel moment. That's something I really want to do. I've never done is the pigeon hunt, like the full on, where they show the pile, 500 in a day type thing.
Oh yeah,
I think they do them up in Lubbock.
they do.
Yeah.
You should sit there on the feedlots.
That'd be
all about it.
I'd be all about
That
it.
would be a lot of fun.
All right, so we know what you're going after the axis with. I guess the most second for our area, not what necessarily what Frank does. He deals with so many African animals. Ours would be hogs around here.
And see, that one, I think it's the biggest misnomer out there.
That is I agree with you.
So I can't tell you how many times someone comes in like, hey, I need a 4570 or 458 SOCOM, or just gigantic rounds. I'm like, all right, cool. I don't care. Say what you want. But what are you doing? Oh, I got to go kill a pig. Like, dude, I'm killing with 223 all day.
I had a guy in here. This is funny we're saying this. Literally yesterday, said he needed a bigger gun because he had an AR with a full 30-round mag, and he said he emptied the entire mag into about in his words, a 200-pound sow, and she just ran off like it didn't hurt her. And he said he could hear the bullets hitting, and I didn't want to say you didn't hit it once, but it didn't. Yeah. 5.56. That's another with the right ammunition is devastating on.
Well, I mean that's and people are like, no, it doesn't happen that way. It's like, dude, do you know how many deer have been killed with the 22 long rifle? Like thousands.
Maybe even tens of thousands.
A lot. And it doesn't matter what you're using. You can kill anything with proper shot placement.
This is news to me, sir.
Why are you sweating?
All of a sudden, he's just staring at me while he's saying it.
See, I was much more of a 22 mag guy myself.
Yeah, they made too much noise.
Yeah.
The water bottle on the end didn't hold up the 22 mag.
The baby nibble from allegedly.
Yeah, you act like you know what you were talking about there for a second.
Sorry, I digress.
But I mean, it's a lot of it's shot placement, but absolutely, and it's back to matching ammo to the task at hand.
Yeah, and I would say, do y'all listen to like Ron Spomer and stuff? Y'all listen, So he has quite a large following and podcast and stuff, and he gets asked more questions about what's the best deer round, what's the best bear round, what's the best elk. The list goes on, and I swear his answer is the same every time.
6.5 Creedmoor.
No, not even a little bit. It really boils down to the bullet and your capabilities with that firearm. Mm-hmm. If you're not comfortable with it and you can't put the bullet where it goes, it really doesn't matter what you're shooting.
No,
and
you shoot anything in the ass,
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Texas heart shot.
It's so funny to me because, all these Hornady's and the copper bullets are a big thing now. And I mean, I shoot copper myself, and I love it. But good God, I mean, you think about our dads and grandfathers, how many millions of animals have died from a core lock.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, I don't know anyone that shoots a core lock anymore.
We got too bougie for it.
That's what it is.
Is
that what it is? I mean, really?
No, if I hunt in Texas, I'm shooting a 308 cord lock. Reason being, I've never had anything take a step.
Right. And that's real life. I mean, hell, dude, we went to New Zealand. You know what we shot?
Core lock.
It was a Winchester, but it was essentially Winchester's SST or whatever. Version, same thing as a core lock.
So I think a lot of it had to do, and we did this when we were, the state was doing this because we had an officer involved shooting that we ended up losing an officer. And they I wouldn't say directly tied it back to it, but it had a major effect of why he was killed is because one of our officers actually had flanked the guy that was in a shootout with the police. Mm-hmm. And what happened was, and they found this out in post-interview, that the officer that died had shot the suspect. And they asked him, well, why did you figure out where he was? Why did you shoot him? He's like, well, I didn't know he was there, but I felt like he shot 3 times in the legs. He goes, I felt like I was being stung by bees. And at the time, the state was trying to be frugal, and they were buying full metal jackets, where they were just, unfortunately in the situation, they were just zipping through his thigh. Mm-hmm. Not hitting anything major, just he hit him 3 times. And so as he spun, he could see the officer, and he actually shot him, unfortunately. And we, after that, the state came in and just did spent a lot of time, a lot of research into, what goes into killing, like bullet performance, terminal performance.
Yeah.
And what they found, we were running the Winchester Ranger, which is I forget what they call the bullet, but it's a soft tip. It's a copper jacketed, so it feeds smoother, but with the lead tip. And they found out through a lot of testing is that exposed lead tip has to deform. Lead is so soft when it hits a solid medium, whether it be flesh or a windshield or a door.
It's gonna,
It has to. There's nothing for it to hold its shape together, so it has to deform in some way. And so we did the testing, and then the Rangers did a lot of testing because the Rangers use it or the DPS was using the style of ammo as well, and they found it was the best style of bullet through media if you're looking for a self-defense or really good terminal performance, and they all attributed to that exposed lead. And I say all of that to tie it back to Core-Lock because that's what a Core-Lock bullet is, and
100%.
It's an exposed lead tip, thin copper jacket. So the copper jacket helps with aerodynamics and flight. And it holds that lead just well enough that as soon as it hits, everything strips, it deforms, and it makes that irregular shape that causes the terminal damage. And so I think that's why Core-Lock was so impressive. But we have and there's been advancement in bullet design and science that goes behind it. And that's why it was so revolutionary for the Lever Revolution stuff, that plastic tip. That when the hits is supposed to, in theory, it's supposed to jam back in that hollow cavity and cause that rapid expansion. Yeah. And we've advanced, but at the core, now killing's still killing.
My rebuttal.
100%.
So I got a rebuttal on that, and this is why I think it is. It is kind of a bougie thing, but I don't think that's exactly what it is. So our grandfathers, right, shooting the Core-Locked, or our fathers, or whatever. To them, 200-yard shot is almost unimaginable. Like if somebody made he made a 220-yard shot, and then their required accuracy. My dad went out, my grandfather went out.
Oh, pipe plate.
If at 200 yards, you're in the vitals.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
And now with us and our ammo that if I'm not one hole at 200 yards, I feel like I'm sacrificing something. Which isn't really the case if you're hunting in Texas in the thick Yopons and every shot you're going to have is 200 yards in.
Correct.
So I think that's kind of...
Well, I think it's kind of a combination of all of it, right? You had, kind of like you were saying, going back to bullet advancements. Good Lord. We all remember when the VMAX bullet came out.
Oh, yeah,
from Hornady.
dude.
For what it was, that was amazing. But you didn't want to go shoot a deer with it.
No.
It wasn't made for that. But a coyote.
Blow a coyote in
Oh,
too.
good.
Yeah.
But then, kind of even fast forward to what you're talking about too, is I think the problem is now is you have so many people getting into hunting, which is amazing. Don't get me wrong.
No,
that is unbelievable.
Yeah.
But you have a lot of people that didn't grow up probably the way that us three did. And we were shooting almost, when I was a kid, I shot every day.
Every single day.
Every single day.
Burnt through a bucket of bullets a week.
I literally remember my dad had those packs of Golden Boys, the 525s. And one summer I ran through 4 of them, and he got pretty upset,
Because they were $10 at Walmart.
Yeah.
And but you don't have that happening anymore.
No.
So people don't understand target acquisition and learning your rifle from top to bottom and learning the anatomy on an animal and where to put the bullet. And so I feel it's so much more important to have just that overly accurate bullet.
There's an interesting question.
Sure.
So you see thousands of skins come in.
Oh, gosh.
Looking at them on the average, would you say, because you're going to see where the bullet hole, because you're going to have to sew that all back up.
100%.
Are you saying primarily in the good spot? You see a lot of bad shots? What?
Honestly, it's probably about 70 or 80, 20.
Really?
So either 70, 30, 80, 20. It depends. A lot of African animals, they are shot. I had a springbuck yesterday that was center punched in the neck, and it had a massive hole. And I wouldn't really call that a good shot, but I don't know the situation. Maybe the animal was looking right at him. I have no idea, But I would say on average, our general whitetail, they're mostly in the shoulder, high shoulder, something like that. Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah. I just realized I had to go laugh at myself. How much y'all have in common? You see like thousands of skins a day, and he sees like thousands of foreskins, and it's just. I understand why y'all get along so well.
Oh God.
Yeah. Man,
You want to swap jobs?
Some days. I mean, if I have to deal with a bunch of foreskins, no.
That's Jake his nickname for us.
Oh,
Damn
Oh,
foreskins
don't
are
lie.
here.
I've seen y'all's full body mounts. Y'all get really detailed on the anatomy.
well,
You got to do what you got to do.
I mean, it's the good Lord put it there. Let's make it look good.
You're doing all the fine airbrush detail.
Yeah. We have little bitty small paintbrushes for that.
that'd be great if you have one guy like that's the rookie's job every time. Like,
Go paint the nuts.
Get over and paint the pecker. It's your job, rookie.
It seems like every goat mount I've ever seen,
yeah.
they're always turned
Yeah.
just right. So like
Yeah.
that's all you see. You're
Just
like it could be
that
the world
massive
record
pile.
double curl,
Yeah.
bighorn, like bam, ass. Just
Yeah.
put them nuts out.
Yeah, my favorite's the full body the boar mounts. 'Cause they are from the back. They're impressive.
Yeah.
Yep.
The ones I actually like are the kangaroos because it's typically you're mounting it kind of standing upright and it's right up front.
Yeah, the reds.
baboon.
The reds that are all flexed and have
Yeah.
the Yep. They're impressive.
All right, I got a question for y'all.
Uh-oh.
Let's say we put together this New Zealand hunt.
Yes.
All right, which is looking like it might happen.
Mm-hmm.
What if you had to pick the perfect gun? Go.
From listening to what you were doing and how y'all are hunting, it doesn't exist, and that's half my problem. Otherwise, I would have it
You
already.
had to overcomplicate it.
Hell of a politician. Hell of a politician.
No. If I had to make it, it'd be a custom action. So a one piece, everything all together. I like it where the rail's actually machined into the receiver. Just one less thing to go wrong, right? It'd run a carbon barrel, save weight.
Yep.
And then the problem is I'm more than likely running a 700 style footprint receiver that just seems to be what everybody bases them off of, right? It's the most common. I absolutely love the Sig Cross chassis.
Oh, that's cool.
It's small,
light.
it's compact,
That is really cool.
it side folds, but it's proprietary
God, you could literally
receiver.
put it in a backpack and go.
And the
That's
problem,
freaking
and my
genius.
problem with it is that everybody else on the market is like twice as heavy. And because I can get a composite stock or I can get a carbon stock for half the weight of these chassis, but the Sig for whatever reason is crazy light. And I have been told they are doing a new receiver design that's going to be more 700-esque. So we could see this in the future, but when I built it, it's funny you say this because this is exactly where I was 6-9 months ago. I was trying to build this. I wanted this Sig Cross chassis because it's teeny tiny, it's lightweight. I can fold it in half and stick it in my pack, and now it's not all the way over here.
Exactly.
But nobody got close enough. The closest I could find the magnesium chassis was, so my stock on the 7 is 24 ounces, and the closest I could get was like 45 or 55 ounces.
Yeah, that's big.
Yeah.
It was all the difference in the world.
See those mountains, ounces. Well, everybody heard about your your death march up the mountain. Yeah, ounces equal pounds.
Yeah, but I think so far the jury's still kind of out on it. But the more I research it, I look into it, and I'm working on low development now. I'm really liking that 7 PRC, and I don't like 7mm bullets.
Why?
Why I don't like them?
Yeah.
Historically, they just recoil unnecessarily heavy, in my opinion, compared to some of their competitors. The 30s seem to. I don't know if it's a higher pressure or if it's because that's the slight difference in the barrel diameter. But like you could put a 300 Win Mag and a 7 Mag next to each other, and that 7 Mag is just going to beat the shit out of you.
We tested a prototype in 7 PRC out on a fairly light frame at Prairie Dogs. We went through about 200 yards, and by the end of the day, I didn't want to shoot anymore.
But the problem
jarring.
is
That's interesting.
the way the 7 PRC compares
yeah.
to its, even the 300 or the 6.5, it's just that the bullet design, it's falling into a sweet spot that it performs better than either side.
Right.
And I'm interested where it long term it goes as far as my accuracy, my ballistic performance, and terminal performance with it. But at the moment, that's probably where I would go.
Cool.
It's a solid answer.
I'm boring.
Yeah. No, I knew you were going to be. That's why I asked him first. 1965
Remington BDL
Yeah.
and 30-06.
Not quite that boring, but there's nothing wrong with that gun, sir. Mine's what I'm not. I'm just really satisfied with a 300 Win Mag.
Yeah.
For larger quadrupeds, and that's kind of my jam. And hell, I even going back to the whole bullet selection thing, I shoot our small whitetails around here with it just with basically a full metal jacket. And a 190 grain bullet, they're not going anywhere, but it's not going to destroy, a ham or a front shoulder. The gun I've been carrying, and I'm about to try something else because, like he said, the chassis guns are getting so light. But I've been, I've had that Tikka Veil, and
I do like that gun.
That is a nice gun.
and it shoots so good. That's my problem with the gun. They all shoot great.
Yeah.
I got one that shoots phenomenal, and it's hard to, it's the whole don't leave a place
It's
where
not broke. Don't
yeah,
fix
yeah,
it.
yeah. If don't ever leave fish to find fish or
Yeah.
that type of thing. I got what I need.
Yeah.
I don't really need more, but I got to, just being in the line of business we are and everything, I got to try everything out there.
Sure.
Or at least give it a shot.
I got a real bad itch for a 22 Creed.
No,
I do too, but
I
I
do
mean,
too.
not in New Zealand. That wouldn't be the caliber.
No.
Yeah.
no.
I don't know. I mean,
Maybe for wallabies.
yeah.
The
No, you could do it
wallaby.
for wallabies. I mean, you could kill a fallow deer maybe.
I bet you could
Sheep.
go with it just fine.
Yeah.
If I'm spending New Zealand money, I'm not risking it on a
No.
22 Creed.
I wouldn't either.
Yeah.
But back to my whole Sig Cross thing. Proof is doing a pre-fit barrel for the Sig Cross chassis right now in 22 Creed, and that's really
So we'd have our action, we'd have the barrel, you'd have
Mm-hmm.
everything.
no. You'd have to pull the barrel out of the cross because the
yeah.
cross is a proprietary action.
Oh, I thought you said they were going more
They're supposed to be.
supposedly. Unofficially, we don't know what we're talking about. We're not going to say they're doing it, but allegedly,
That's the
Allegedly.
Mm-hmm.
rumor mill.
that's the rumor. Because that would be real cool.
Allegedly, would be real cool.
Yep.
So when y'all guys go elk hunting, I know you take the Tikka
Yep.
and the 300 Win Mag. So what are you running?
What did I take this year?
Which year? He switches it up. He
I'll
does.
say every
He
minute.
switches it up
Every minute.
So,
Yeah.
so last year, my gun was not ready, so I borrowed a Best of the West 7 PRC.
Okay.
This
God,
year,
you are at two completely different ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
I mean, for real.
but I'm
That's what makes this work so good.
Little yin and yang over here.
So-
yeah.
I like to chase and try the new.
Sure.
Like just like when 224
That's how you
Valkyrie
get
came
divorced, sir.
out. Yeah, sure. Well, that's that whole like 10 rule why guns are better than women. Guns don't mind it when you try something new.
Yeah.
But I tried 224 Valk as soon as it came
Yeah.
out. I got rid of it because it was having problems at the time, and that's how I ended up with the 22 Nosler.
Right.
That mule deer
Well, let
you
me-
shot when we were elk hunting, he shot a mule deer with the 28 Nosler, and it.
Dude, I've heard great things about.
Destroyed.
I've heard
It-
wonderful things
Dude,
about.
when we cut that
28
deer
Nosler.
open, it was the most impressed I'd ever been
Yeah.
with the amount of energy it put inside. It was just, I mean, it was
So
like
if
been
it
through a
wasn't for
blender.
7 PRC being the new thing, and it's Hornady has such a
Marketing.
major presence in the gun world.
They're genius.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, they really are. You got to give it to them.
Well,
I
the-
mean, on
the-
their marketing campaign, they're phenomenal.
And,
And-
the 7 PRC is
Yeah.
is
No, I love
very,
'em.
very,
Love
very
'em.
similar to the 28. The 28 runs a faster twist rate, so you can run heavier bullets, and I like heavy bullets. And so that was
About to
my.
blow your mind in a minute. Go ahead.
But I love the 28 because I was running 195 grain Burger EOLs, and it was just lights out. At 500 yards, it was. I mean, keep in mind it's mild steel, But at 500 yards, I was blowing through half-inch mile steel. It's just incredible the energy that ground has. But the
Brought to
gun
you
I have,
by beer at 1 o'clock on a Wednesday.
Cheers. Hey, you know what?
It's 250.
You know what?
Oh, yeah.
We won the war. We don't have to work tomorrow, guys.
Yep.
But my problem with my 28 was I hated the gun it was in. I had nothing but problems with its manufacturing. And I'm not going to dog them on the podcast, but I got rid of it because I hated the rifle. It was just problem after problem after problem with their build quality and their quality control. And this, when the 7 started coming out, and I was like, hey, here's something new. Let's try something new. And being an industry I am, you kind of have to be on that edge of like
100%. I mean, I do the same thing on the taxidermy part of it too. But did you hear the rumor about the 7 PRC? It's not a rumor anymore because I heard it from Hornady. So, and it doesn't really affect you so much because you reload your own stuff.
Oh, guys, y'all might hear breaking news. Y'all might hear it here first.
Breaking news.
we should figure out how to do like the breaking news things.
We can get it on there.
Maybe.
So when Hornady released it, it was a big deal because they were saying it's over 3,000 feet per second, 7mm bullet, 180. It's moving faster than the 7 mag, all that good stuff. Well, the powder they were using was mined out of, I believe it was Austria. And because that country is now gearing up for war, potentially with Russia, Hornady can't get the powder anymore.
Whoa.
So now it's exactly a 7 mag because they're using 7 mag powder now to reload in their factory stuff.
This isn't verified on my end, but I did have a customer who was in here last week who told me the exact same thing.
Dang.
Not dogging Hornady at all.
No.
I believe.
No, they came out and admitted it.
Yeah.
I heard it on a podcast.
Here's my biggest bitch about Hornady. So they turned hand loading into where it wasn't a necessity for precision. It's a hobby now.
Yeah.
They got so consistent and so good. There was no reason to hand load anymore unless you were just going crazy long range. Or really, it just became a hobby. Yeah, they brought everybody's else's level up. If you wanted to be competitive, you were going to have to keep up with Hornady.
So really, it's costing me more money to hand load than it is to buy Hornady ammo, which would be of similar accuracy, but I get really, really, really deep in like the matrix of bullet performance, I'm trying to make it do what I want. I'm pushing bullets harder. I'm pushing bullets faster, and I know exactly what that bullet's going to do terminally. And so I'm making for me, it's exactly what I wanted to do.
Well, in that circumstance, like a 7 PRC, if you're gonna get the gun for its ballistic performance, quote unquote, you want it to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, why? I'm with you 100%.
And I'm gonna let you know a little secret. Why I love my Creedmoor so much.
Sure.
Is I get lost in the weeds. I'm almost to PRC specs out of a Creedmoor. So I got a super hot Creed.
Gotcha.
There's also the side of it to where like Jake and I have been talking a long time about making our own recurve or bow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Shooting anything with your own load that didn't come out right.
That did not come out. Y'all are talking about foreskins and loads around
all of a sudden
here.
I was like,
I had to beat you to it.
He called him on himself.
I'd say as soon as it came out of my mouth, I realized it, but I'm not going to do that either.
No.
Yeah. So, but yes, there's something fulfilling about, you were even more involved in the process than just the hunt. You were kind of involved, and he is, and I get the entire appeal of what he does.
Yeah.
He's built the gun, he's built the bullet, everything but the optic basically, and he can get out there and there's a satisfaction in doing that. More of like I did this.
I'm doing the exact same thing with a 7 Psalm right now.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big round.
I'm
I'm
excited.
I gotta go pick it up later. It's threaded already.
Oh, cool. Sweet.
Cool.
I'm not guys, you're gonna get it back time
gotta-
soon, but
This went by way too damn fast.
it did. It was a good time.
Yeah, it did.
This was fun.
I feel like we talked about a whole lot of nothing.
We did. And, but it was fun. I mean, I'm sure there's some tidbit of information somebody got out there. Maybe about how much Jake likes foreskins.
Yeah.
Like they might not have known that.
Maybe the next podcast we can talk about, hopefully, your successful axis hunt?
See, success on a guided trip lives and dies with the guide, not the hunter. The guide. So if the guide is sub-quality, the hunt's sub-quality.
And I just want to go ahead and put that out here. If you whiff the shot, if you miss,
I will have it recorded.
no. It's not like there's literally a whole dozen people that are listening to this that are like.
I mean, how do you want this to go down? You want me to call the spot? I'll call my shot.
Wow.
Aim small, miss small.
That's it.
Yep.
You see the second dot behind the shoulder?
Like Babe Ruth walking up to bat.
God. Now I really am like rooting against you. Like, I hope that somebody does flinch. I hope a wasp bites you on your neck as you pull the trigger.
Probably. Hey, if I do miss, now I have perfect excuse. Hey, I got a swell in the back of my head. I couldn't get my head down.
The Benadryl's still in my system.
I'm so sleepy.
Guys, thank y'all so much for listening. We have so much fun doing this. If you can't tell, it's a blast. If y'all get a chance, do what we asked earlier and go check out B&B Taxidermy's website or Facebook. Dude, they're epic. The rooms they do, just next level.
Especially if you're remodeling a house or you're building a new house and you need an idea what you need. Like if your wife wants the fancy kitchen, this is what you can argue it to. Like, okay, you can have that, but I get this.
And I would say next level at Whitetail, and you can see that if you come to the showroom, but their jam is if you go to Africa, if you're on safari and you want to put together that room that is just gonna drop jaws when people see it, they're without a doubt the best in the U.S., maybe the best in the world at doing it. I've never seen anybody better. So
wow,
yeah,
I've never
reach out
heard
to
someone. Brown knows so much to kill a bigger axis deer. Congratulations.
I was trying to throw it all in there. I was going to start touching your leg under the table. I'm like, whatever you need, buddy.
Kind of reached over here a little bit.
Guys, thank y'all so much for listening. If you get opportunity,
Thank you,
like,
guys.
share, all the good stuff.
You know what to do.
Yeah, we appreciate you. Y'all have a good one.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
You've been listening to the Circle Star Firearms and Outdoors podcast with your hosts Jake Cawthon and Jason Westmoreland. Be sure and subscribe so you don't miss any episodes. New episodes drop every Monday and catch up in between episodes on the Circle Star Minute every Friday. For more information, visit CircleStarFirearms.com, or better yet, come see our great new store at 6320 Highway 90 in Anderson, Texas. Until next time, safe shooting, folks.